If you look at a modern creator's desktop today, you will likely see a mess. You have 4 different browser tabs open for text generation, a standalone app for video rendering, an audio synthesis tool, and a downloads folder packed with files labeled Output Final V4. The speed that artificial intelligence promises is often lost in this friction. Moving files back and forth between siloed tools creates app-switching fatigue, burning mental energy on logistics instead of creative decisions. By the end of this tutorial, we will build this exact cinematic sequence without leaving a single unified workspace. We will follow a strict 4-step blueprint. We will move this project from a raw text concept all the way to a final video export, and we will do it without generating a single piece of digital desktop clutter. Reducing the friction between these individual models is a measurable strategy for increasing how much you can actually ship in 2026. Step 1 begins in the idea phase. We open our AI text generator to establish the core logic of the video before we generate any pixels. This diagram illustrates layered instructions, prompts that stack specific parameters, goal, tone, and a strict constraint, forcing the AI to produce highly specific formatting. This framework processes our concept and simultaneously outputs 2 distinct data streams: focused visual descriptions and a cohesive voiceover script. For this specific project, we applied a strict constraint. The AI is only allowed to write 1 single sentence for each visual description. This keeps our aesthetic control tight and prevents the tool from inventing unwanted details. Treating the AI as a collaborative editor early in the process keeps the ideas sharp. It helps prevent you from producing AI slop, low-quality, mass-produced content that lacks a clear point of view later in production. Step 2 is generation. We take those single-sentence visual descriptions and feed them directly into our generative video tool. This circular workflow replaces the traditional step-by-step schedule with a continuous loop. You generate basic structures, then apply transformations. If a clip fails, you adjust the constraint and re-roll. You are ideating, generating, and refining in real time. Because you will generate dozens of variations to find the perfect shot, you have to actively curate the outputs. You must isolate your approved video clips and route them into a single dedicated project directory immediately. By overlapping these phases, this real-time iteration model compresses days of pre-production and shooting into a few minutes of generation. Step 3 is refinement. We take the voiceover script generated in Step 1 and process it through an AI audio tool to synthesize the narration. Now, we gather those fresh audio files and our curated video clips and import them all into a standard non-linear editing timeline. To assemble this, we place the audio track first. Then we drag the video clips onto the timeline, carefully aligning the high-impact visual transitions with the dramatic pauses in the AI's narration. This is where the workflow friction hits. You are now carrying the mental load of organizing, naming, and syncing files that originated from 3 completely disconnected platforms. AI makes the creative assembly of these pieces faster, but the manual wrangling of all these decentralized files exposes the administrative overhead of the process. Step 4 brings us to the output. We render the timeline and export our completed 15-second promo video. Looking at the completed asset, the visual fidelity holds up. The generation step successfully delivered on the initial concept. But if we minimize the media player and look at the file destination folder on the local desktop, a different picture emerges. We are left with an artifact mess. There are abandoned text prompts, dozens of failed video generations, fragmented audio stems, and scattered project files. The speed of the generation is offset by the time required to manually sort and verify the origin of each file. This chart shows the raw time advantage of the modern system. A standard 3-day traditional production shrinks into a 30-minute AI workflow. But as you produce 5 to 10 times more content, the primary bottleneck in your operation transitions. It moves away from content generation and entirely onto the management of your digital artifacts. TalentSite's infrastructure-centered design places tracking below creative tools. The top terminal layer unifies text, video, and audio generation, eliminating app switching. Beneath that, the automated POW ledger maps the lineage of every prompt, seed, and file, linking final outputs back to your first idea. Check the link in the description to explore Talent Site. You can integrate your AI tools under a single architectural roof and stop fighting your own file structures. When technical execution is automated, the difference in what teams can ship comes down to how effectively they track and refine their own creative history.